Good morning from Kamakura, Japan, on this Tuesday, June 22nd. Well, after a few days of rain, we finally get some sunshine, and it's nice. The humidity is getting quite high, and in a couple weeks, when the rainy season ends, we'll be getting a lot of heat. But that's okay, right, Spunky? That's okay, huh? Heat never bothered me. Knock it off. Spunky can't stand the heat. 3 flowers on the yellow trumpet bush. That's good. And our tower is looking so-so. The sweet fennel is doing fantastic. But, as is the oregano and the Italian parsley, flat-leaf parsley. And the coriander seeds are looking wonderful. Curly parsley is not doing very well. I think it'll bounce back once the hot weather gets here. It's been rather waterlogged, but I'm afraid a lot of things will bolt in the hot weather. But that's summer. Oh, by the way, welcome to summer. Yeah. The 21st was the summer solstice. A few moments ago, I was chatting in the comments section with David. He was looking at one of my first videos, maybe the first real gardening video I posted, and he liked it. I thought the quality of the iPhone camera back then, and we're talking maybe 3 or 4 years ago, the quality of the camera was terrible. My sinuses were all stuffed up. But Bebe was with us then. Bebe was my first dog. And so it was fun having the 2 dogs together. But hey, life moves on. I think we're going to have a few surprises in the garden today. Let's go take a look. Okay, first off, I may soon have to do a little bit more pruning here. Just a few days ago, I pruned these upper branches, and they're climbing up again. But I think we've got some ripening here. I can see it from a distance. Let's go in and take a closer look. See this here? Yeah, we've got ripening going on. Yeah, I think one down here. Yeah, these will be the red variety. They're the Aiko. The ones in the inner row are supposed to be the orange. But they don't look like that. So, we'll see. Let's see how things look from this side. Okay. I opened up the netting here just so that the cucumbers can be pollinated by the insects. I don't see any new ones. No. Yeah, so no new cucumbers. At least not visible from this side. Maybe next week. And over here, the zucchini. So many flowers, huh? Yeah. And I'm hoping that these will be pollinated. Yeah, there's a bug inside this one here, so that should be pollinated. It's a bit early yet to try to determine which ones are going to be pollinated and which won't. So I'm not too worried at this point. I'll come back and do some weeding later on. Well, that looks good. Yeah, looks very good. Now over here, we have the string beans, the ingen, as we say in Japanese. And yeah, they're flowering, doing quite well. We should be getting some fruit from some legumes from these in a couple weeks. I wonder how the soil moisture is doing. Yeah, it's a bit dry. You can see there. So I'll water that. The lower level is fine. Yeah, you can see that there are 2 different varieties here. These have a white flower, And these here have a sort of magenta purplish flower. So the two different kinds, we'll see them once they start growing. The hydrangea is still in full bloom. In the first video I did, I was calling them rhododendrons. So embarrassing. That's all right. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm glad to see the ripening here. No sign of the ginger yet, but that's okay. And the little trumpet bush is hanging in there. Now, Spunky on this fine morning. Huh? How you doing? How are you? I'm not even going to bother checking the strawberries. They're fine. Oh, but look at the ajisai, the hydrangeas. Yeah. That looks good. The spring onions have bounced back. And the begonia is looking very pretty. Yeah, Omaha David, I think you'll like this. Very nice. Yep. Yep, and these trumpet flowers. Very nice. Okay, let's check on the radishes. I'll plant some more later in the season. I think I learned my lesson not to overcrowd them. I'll do a fall crop. I don't think any are ready to be picked yet. But some look promising. Yeah, there's a bunch here, and they look promising. Give them more time. Yeah, these spring onions are doing well. For those of you just joining, what I do with the spring onions when I buy them in the store is I cut them just above the root end, and I save the roots, put them in a glass of water, and in a day or so I transplant them outside, just to regrow them. You can double your ROI, your return on investment, by replanting them. And new growth here. Yeah. This is the papaya tree. And that's looking promising. It may look like I've cut the sage back. I haven't. I've simply bunched them together like that. Yeah. That's a little better. Let's go downstairs and see what's afoot. To see what's underfoot. Okay, blueberries. So we even have some more flowering here. I can pinch them off, it's not necessary. I think we've got plenty of good growth, that they'll be just fine. Now look how big this volunteer tomato plant has grown in just a few days. And it's starting to set fruit. See how nice and straight this is? Yeah, that's very nice. Some of these lower branches I can get rid of. They're not necessary. And you can see there's a sucker coming out here, so get rid of that. Yeah, and these suckers coming out here too. These here I won't be needing, so we can just get rid of these. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, in a couple days we'll probably have to come out and cut the grass here. But yeah, these two twins. Oh, speaking of twins, thank you all for your wonderful birthday messages. It was very nice of you. Both Cassandra and I appreciated them very much. Very sweet of you. Thank you. From both of us. Oh, this one's doing very nice. Yeah, I was reflecting over the last few days that here I am, 61 years old. I came to Japan when I was 21, going on 22. So, yeah, about 40 years ago, I first came to Japan. I did leave twice. First, I went to Hawaii for a year and a half. Worked at 2 radio stations there. KGU, Talk Radio 76, the voice of Hawaii. And News Radio 99, KHVH. That was a fun time. Yeah. And, I went back to the States when I was 40, 21 years ago. For about 5.5 years. Philadelphia, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, and then back to Japan. So as you can see here, enough blabbering about me. As you can see here, these zucchini are recovering, I should say, from nearly being smothered by the netting. And from here, you might be able to see, let me zoom in a bit. You can see how the tomatoes there are beginning to ripen. They're getting dark. It's very nice. Yeah, very nice. And these here, nice clusters. Very nice clusters. I'm liking that. Okay, let's come up for a closer look. I don't see any more growth of the eggplant, but they're flowering. That's a good sign. The one that I clipped the other day, I had in a stir fry yesterday, a beef vegetable stir fry. That was delicious. Yeah, more tomatoes. Very good, very good. My disco ball is doing its job. More flowering of the cucumbers there. It's very nice. Up here, they're starting to butt up against the netting there, so I have to be careful with that. I can see, I don't know if you can, but I can see the tendrils reaching out towards the other tomato plants. So I think they'll have enough support. So once I see more growth on the cucumbers, I'll let the netting down. As you can see here, I've raised it up so that pollination can happen, and I'll lower it down again. Down here I can get in quite easily. And eventually, as was suggested, I may extend this outward down here and maybe tack it to this down here. So everything is looking pretty good as we head into the heat of the summer. You can see the rose bush has recovered quite well. I think we're going to have spectacular growth on that next year. Keep an eye out for that. Yeah, and look at this tomato plant here. Growing nice and straight. I like that. Don't see any fruit setting just yet, but that's okay. Both of them are doing well. And these down here, looking good. And I left this part of the rose bush. This is an extension jutting out from it. I left this here. This will be a nice attraction next year. I notice how the color has changed on the yellow trumpet bush. It's not that dark green. The color's faded a bit. But, yeah, I guess that's to be expected. I'm wondering if it's missing some nutrients. I'll feed it, give it some plant food a little bit later on. It's the liquid type that you mix with water. So it looks like a very nice day is on tap. I do have to work from the evening. But yeah, it's a good start to this day. Very quiet this morning. I guess the birds are tending to their young'un. So I don't hear a lot of bird song. I hear them, but it's not as much as before in the spring. I guess they're busy tending their flocks. Oh, here, let's water the string beans. Okay, let's see how things are doing inside here. The mother bamboo is doing okay. I think it's recovering slowly. I bought this 15 years ago, and you can go back into the earlier videos this past spring to see how I cut it and salvaged the upper portions. The aloe is looking well. You can see they've grown, and I haven't cut them back, and they stand up on their own. Yeah. Thank goodness they're inside, because in a wind outside they'd topple over real quick. But inside they're fine. Yeah. And the cactus has grown a lot over the years. Getting quite tall. I haven't shown you the rubber tree in a while. It starts down there. I have two of them actually, as you can see. And it starts down there and goes all the way up to there. So you can see the two different kinds there. And this plant is doing well after replanting. Let me turn that fan off for a bit. Looks like I'm going to have to readjust the support up there. You can see it bending slightly. Pull off some of this old growth here. I'm going to retie the knot right here. Okay, that looks good. And the other plants are looking well. You know, this is these two bamboo here came from the mother plant. They're doing well. You can see they have new runners coming out. And this here looks good. I think we have some flowers coming in. Yeah, here we are. And down here as well. I'll see some flowers in a few days or weeks. And the jade looks good. Boston ferns. And this little spidey fella here is doing well after being transplanted. Here we have the 5 avocado plants in the 4 pots. We have a twin there. And some new flowering that should happen soon here on the hibiscus. And the maiden's hair fern. It's looking good as usual. Our Christmas cactus is standing straight and tall. Ready to put on a nice show next February, or maybe even earlier, December to February. Yeah, you can see how the string beans are really keeping the dining room here nice and shaded. It'd be very easy to see which string beans need to be picked from here, from inside. And this was the last of the cuttings of the bamboo. So, good stuff. And you might remember this. This is from the hibiscus, the cuttings. They're still hanging in there. I replace the water every so many days. Okay, Spunky. Stretch day. Ready? Let's go. juniper tree is looking good. It even has berries.